Panachik eich satini, stakatiuhan, gunalchish hati adi, achtuyik edat, audigan kuak eyayagi, anchich koa, gunana anika. Good to see you all. I'm happy about it. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. It's sunny. It's good weather here in Anchorage today on Athabascan lands. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Daukunyagi, ayayayagi, eka, kayani disi, kleka ka dakadushu yawachi yadis. It's Thursday, April 27th, and we're excited for class today. So we're going to continue on with our food theme, as we mentioned. We'll start off with an open discussion, any Q&A that folks have. And then we'll launch into our show and tell presentations. We received one of yours by email, and I put them in slides, and we'll kind of make sure that they're formatted together and work on them together. So with that said, welcome on in. Any questions or comments folks have that we can help you with before we get started? I'll open up my dictionary to help edit as you're thinking about your questions. Oh, Shaquin, sorry, I didn't see your hand up.
That's okay. So I worked on my slides and put them together. I kind of spent all day going down a Google rabbit hole yesterday as I was trying to figure out how to say everything I wanted to say, because of course I couldn't make it easy on myself and just use the phrases in the book. I had to modify them so much that I had to try and do a lot of research to make sure I was doing it correctly. And I'm still not 100% sure I landed on it.
Okay.
So I changed my mind about exactly what I was going to talk about. I decided I wanted to talk about herring eggs, especially since it was herring egg season just a little while ago.
Yeah.
My favorite way of eating herring eggs is on neh. And so what I found hard to say was the fact that I like herring eggs on neh. So what I came up with from looking at different sources was nehta ach tua sigu. I wasn't sure if that was correct or not.
Good one. Good question.
So you're saying that is what you want? Or is that what are you trying to say? That's what you like?
That's what I like, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe might be a better phrase.
So I'm writing it on the slide, and I'll zoom in a little bit, but and yeah, I think you would say herring eggs is that ga. Let me check my spelling on wasa duasak herring eggs lingit renach. Oh god.
There is, yeah, it's a pinched X.
Okay.
Pinched rounded X.
Okay. So let's do and then to say that you like it on neh, maybe it would be neh cook.
So I watched, I think it was I watched a couple of different herring egg documentaries. One by the herring egg protector, well, the herring protectors, and then one put together by Sea Alaska Heritage. One of the gentlemen in it was talking about how he was harvesting hemlock, and that they
Uh-huh.
call it how da'a.
Oh.
And I looked it up in the dictionary that the da'a means wraparound.
Oh.
It's a DAA period AA.
Huh. Uh,
And how is branch with needles, especially referring to hemlock. And I had found a different resource put together by the USDA. Oh, what is it called? Here we go. Ha'adhachi ha kustiyich siti. Our food is our Lingit way of life. And that's where I saw them also refer to the different ways herring eggs are harvested, whether it is on the hemlock branches or on the seaweed or on kelp. And again, they also used hauda'a for the hemlock branches. They used the nehda'a for what they call it hairy grass.
okay. And what in that phrase you found, did they say how da'aqa?
No, it was just hauda'a. And it was funny because when I Googled that phrase as well, I came up across somebody's art page where they had put together, I don't know if it was paint or what, but yeah, drew a picture of herring eggs on a hemlock branch and called it just hauda'a.
Okay.
Spell that again, the two words.
She spelled it HAAW for how, correct? Shaquin. And then da'a, DAA period AA.
Oh, da, ah. Two
Da.
A. Yeah, it's not how da,
Oh, okay.
da, ah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since they're long, we just got to be careful not to say da'a. We don't want to make it short. We want to make it nice and long.
Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Da. See, the da is the wraparound around.
Okay. Wrap around. Okay. So could she say neh da'a eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Net is the name of herring eggs on grass. So
Oh, okay. So does neh already imply that there's herring eggs on it?
on grass, yeah.
Oh, so does she still need the da'a?
Yeah, I don't think that would apply.
Yeah.
Nah. You say nah, the picture, and the mind comes up with herring eggs on grass.
Okay.
Did you ever eat it?
It's my favorite way to have herring eggs.
Yeah, me too. I like that.
That way I don't have to pick all the little leaves out of my mouth from the haw.
Mhm. So yeah, you could say ne ake. And Shakhsani Keek says when she thinks of ne, she's already imagining the herring eggs on it. Skinyatla, your hand is up.
Nikei Sadini. I had something to share, and I just came back from the Yao Kuik, and I don't know if you can see it.
Oh,
It show.
it
Can you
won't
see
show up. No, it won't show up because
Yeah.
you're are blocking it.
Oh yeah, the background, right?
Yeah.
I had this great little poster that was built for the National Park Service, and it has a picture of a herring, and then it says how to spelled with D-A, glottal stop A-A.
Oh.
Herring eggs on hemlock branches,
Hmm.
and then so on and so forth. But I wanted to share Ha'at Kuaha sock.
Oh.
So I was working on that last night
Oh,
in our
cool.
language here, and we just got the hooligan in up here.
Wow.
So it's pretty exciting.
That's real something.
Yeah.
Goodness, geez.
Okay.
So do we believe the poster or do we believe the I think the first quote that we heard was a Thai, Lingit, a Thai. Wasn't that a book quoting Richard Newton from Cake?
Yeah, I know.
Get a Thai.
Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if it shows up on Google. Oh yeah, here it is. Let me see if I can get the PDF version.
I have it. Let me just grab the link for you.
Awesome, Gwyneth Tish. Yeah, I'm just getting call numbers for libraries. Oh, you have it in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna open it up here.
So yeah, I noticed in the Tlingit dictionary, they do the DAA period AA, but on this paper, it's just DAA space AA.
Oh, and it's with a space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not finding it in the dictionary on its own. Let me find it in the book. While it opens up, do you know what page number it is?
So they don't use the term in the paper. They have it at the end where they included a glossary of Tlingit terms.
Oh, okay.
We talked about that book before,
Yeah.
trying to find some information from Cake, and I happen to know. I knew Richard.
You did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, on there you can see Dao,
Okay.
broad kelp with herring.
Okay, Dao. Okay. And they spell it like you mentioned, Chaksani Kig, Da, it's both of them are long.
Yeah. Yeah, because then it makes sense. Because then you get the picture that it's around.
Like, Okay, that's good. Because da is like around, and then would be like the one.
Yeah.
Okay. The one around it. Okay, I would go with these long A's then. What a cool resource, Gwyneth Geesh, for looking into it and sharing about it for your project. Are there any more questions or comments before I stop sharing my screen to give other people a chance?
My mother was a super excellent cook. She could cook everything and anything.
Oh.
Dad was the creative cook. And
Mhm.
it was pretty funny sometimes. When my mom was in the hospital, he was cooking for me and my younger brother.
Mm.
And he cooked a pot of deer meat stew, just the
Mm.
meat.
Mm.
Oh, it smelled so good when we came in.
Mm.
Supposed to sit to have dinner. And so he said, sit down and eat. Here's your, we had the stew, and of course we had pilot bread. And so we sat down, and I looked at my stew, and I think my dad knew that sometimes when my mom made the stew to make it a little bit of gravy,
Mm.
she would add the flour to thicken it.
Yeah.
And I don't think he knew how to do it, so he got a couple of handfuls of oatmeal and put it in, threw it in there.
Oh.
So we were sat down to eat, and my younger brother, I knew enough not to say anything, and he says, "Hey, there's mush in my stew." And my dad's usual answer, "Don't look at it, just eat it." So then we had a small range that my dad kept the top of it just shining clean, and
Mm.
had a brick that he used to keep it that way, you know. So for breakfast, we were having cereal, and so put a little salt on top of the stove and throw the bread on there.
Yeah.
Then when it was toasted, then he buttered it and gave it to us. So of
Mm.
course, my younger brother always has a comment. He says, "Hey, this is only toasted on one side." My dad says, "Don't look at it, just eat it." So he just, he was really good at cooking outdoors, the native style.
Yeah.
He was really creative um, for a real nice snack. And this is way back in the 40s, maybe even before the 40s. He would take some oranges and peel it and chop it up into small chunks, and throw some sprinkle some sugar over it, and pour some milk over it. And we had to, well, whenever we needed snow, we always got the snow from the roof, because that was always the cleanest where dogs and people
Yeah.
can't get at it. So
Yeah.
go and get the snow, and he would throw the snow in and take the beater at that time you had to crank it like this, and
Yeah.
so he would take the beater and mix it all up and serve it. It was so tasty. It was
Oh,
really wonderful.
yum.
Yeah. And I went to Bellingham to visit some friends, and this guy was taking me home after a long visit. And he said, hey, I want to stop at this place and show you some really good, a real good drink.
Mhm.
So we went in, and I saw them putting it together. They had real oranges, and they peeled it and dropped it into the blender, added some sugar and some milk,
Mm.
ice,
Mm.
and they beat it up and they called it Orange Julius.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was my dad's recipe. I don't know, somebody might have heard about it. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it just brought back memories for some things my dad used to do.
Yum.
And he really believed that milk was important. So he used to try to add milk to everything that we were going to eat.
Oh.
My brother and I, we used to try to grab our plates before he could put milk on it. And I got used to eating pie with
Uh-huh.
milk on it, even to the
Oh.
yeah, I like that instead of ice cream and whatever. Just
Oh.
put some milk on it, or cheese. It's good too. So
Really?
anyway, that was my dad's creations.
He sounds like a fun cook.
Yeah, he would. He was. It just couldn't stop him creating stuff. So it was always fun. When he cooked outdoors, that's when
Oh,
he was at his best, cooking native food.
yeah.
So
My dad too, whenever he'll take us fishing and hunting for a few days on the boat, he'll always cook a fish on the beach if it's sunny. And he uses willow boughs and makes like a cross, kind of like a little grate.
yeah,
And yeah, he would put the fillet of fish on it and roast it over the fire. And man, it was good.
yeah, we used to do that too.
Uh,
Put several sticks through the fish, and
yeah,
an upright one. So then you have it lean over the fire to roast it.
yeah.
They still do that in Seattle.
Oh, cool. Man, it turns out so good that way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Our plates were skunk cabbage,
Oh, yeah.
our throwaway plates.
Cool.
We would line up for food, holding them ready
Mm,
to get our food.
mm.
And then you don't have to wash anything and just throw it away.
There you go.
Yeah.
Does
I
anyone
did
else have?
have another question. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, that's exactly what I was going to ask. Go for it.
Um, so on page 33 in Lingit Hinachsa, I
Uh-huh.
was taking one of the sentences they already had,
Mhm.
and I tried my best to do a translation so I could modify it and use it how I needed to use it.
Okay.
And in the book, it's Shawa ha hluk sa ichi ka su soy sauce tin awe acha du gachku.
Mm. Okay.
So grandma's eating her herring eggs with seal grease and soy sauce is the translation they give.
Man, that just makes me
Here it
hungry.
goes. Yeah, it's that long one on that sentence. Yeah.
Okay, let me find
Um,
zoom in one sec. Okay. Okay.
and so I know it's talking about something that's happening presently.
Mhm.
So I used the verb dictionary to do something that would happen in the future. Since I'm talking about how I like to eat herring eggs, I was going to say I like to eat herring eggs with seal grease. And then I was going to talk about my cousin who is, and I used our phrase of my uncle's daughter.
Mhm.
She likes it with hooligan oil.
Mhm.
And so I modified that sentence as best I could as the way I thought it needed to be modified.
Mhm.
When I looked up shawat, it came up with woman,
Yeah.
and ha had a few different meanings, but I assumed what was they were going for there because of the next word, luk, is grandparent. Thought it
Mhm.
was our grandparent.
Yeah.
Sa'ihi is seal oil.
Yeah.
Ha is usually used for and, correct?
Uh.
And su is also.
Yeah.
Tin is with.
Okay.
Away is that.
Uh.
And aha is she eats it.
Yeah.
And then the last word is herring eggs,
Okay.
but slightly different.
Kanach okay.
So the sentence I came up with, can I just share the screen real quick so you
Yeah.
can see it?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Got it. So the top sentence is what I was trying to say was I will eat herring eggs with seal grease. Sa'ichitin awe kukahagach. I wasn't
Okay.
sure if I would still use the W or the U because I did notice they changed it
Mhm.
in that sentence, since it was talking about grandmother eating the herring eggs and not like me personally eating the herring eggs.
Mhm.
And then when I was talking about my cousin, I said, "Ach, kak tu si sak ichitin awe tu gafu."
Mhm.
So I was trying to say my uncle's daughter will eat herring eggs with hooligan oil.
Okay. So that second one just needs you need to add the word for she will eat. Let me look it up for you.
Oh, did I forget that? I thought I. Oh, yes, you're right. I was writing down notes when I was putting this together, and I think yes, forgot to put that in there. So I think it's Akwacha, AK. I unfortunately can't tell if it's the K or the G that's supposed to be underlined. WA, it's the underline pinched X, AA, or she
Akwacha.
will eat it.
Yeah, akwacha.
It's a K, not an X.
And that's right before the do, right? Oh, is it the K or the G? I'd have to look it up again.
It should be AKG. I mean, sorry, AK underline G WA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
Isn't there a
My
W,
keyboard doesn't like to do the
W?
underlines.
There a W after the K?
Yeah, yeah. It just on this database that Carrie Eggleston put together, it just has a W after the underline G, so it's akwa. Does that
Yeah,
sound right? Does that sound right to you, Shirley?
got it. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. I just need to move that down a little bit. So they changed the W for you in the phrase book. And is it because they're talking about somebody else eating the herring eggs?
In the phrase book, let me find it really quick.
Is it Agu?
Let me see. Here it is.
Mm.
Um, In the phrase book for grandma's eating her herring eggs with seal grease, acha is the word for she is eating. Acha. Was that your question, Shaquin?
Oh, no, because I'm talking about something that's going to happen in the future. So I'm not using something that's happening in the present. So I know it's a different
Okay.
verb.
Yeah.
Aguqaha.
Aguqacha.
And you put the word herring eggs before that.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
It's right. Yeah, it's right above the. It's right above the sentence we're reading.
Okay. That's fine.
But it says we're going to. It says we're going to eat herring eggs.
We're going to eat herring eggs. Gach, gach, tucha. That's for we. We are going to. Gach, tucha. Yeah. And
Is
so,
it because in that sentence, though, we're not just talking about eating the herring eggs, we're talking about what we're eating with the herring eggs?
oh, for the one about the sentence with the grandma.
Right. And for my sentence, since I am being specific about what we're eating the herring eggs with, seal oil or hooligan oil.
Uh-huh. That's a good question. So, Shakhsani Kik, in this example sentence in Lingit Class, in English it says, Grandma's eating her herring eggs with seal grease and soy sauce. And then in Lingit, they wrote, Shawat halil sa eche katsu soy sauce tin owa achat duqaqu.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? Because they're still putting what they're eating, but they're putting the part about adding seal grease and soy sauce before they say acha, and then they add duqaqu. Duqaqu. Okay.
In is with
Like a.
15. If in 15.
Like a. That was another question in the chat somebody asked, because in the phrase book they say soy sauce tin owa, but maybe we could use teen instead.
I thought I saw yesterday when I was looking up tin versus tin, it had to depend on what you were talking about, which
Mhm.
version you used. And I thought it was in the Lingit dictionary.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up by with. I might have to go in the English side.
So what I'm seeing in the dictionary is it says EEN is used with humans and TIN with non-human nouns.
Oh, cool. That does make sense because you would say Achin kananik ishagundat. Share with me about your heritage or your shagun. And then tin or teen. It's like with soy sauce teen. I'm just scrolling down to with the entry for with to see if they describe them both in one entry. Let's go. Let's see what it says. With WX with. Sorry for scrolling so much. One sec. Okay. I'm gonna zoom back in. W. I wish they had like an index on these dictionaries. Okay. So we have een, or we have een, tin, teen, and teen for with. So going back to your question, Shaquin, what was your question again? Sorry.
It's okay.
20 minutes later, I'm like, what was your question?
I know I was having the same problem yesterday. I'd be looking up one thing to figure out something else, and then I'd kind of get off track and go down a rabbit hole on something else related to it, but not quite the same thing. Well, no, it was
I'm not the only one.
question.
Yeah.
Yes. A question about with, but it was on the Lingit side, the Lingit to English one, that I found the translation for the, if you start off in the E's, it is under the entry for -EEN.
Okay.
And then that's where it explained that -EEN is used with humans and -TIN with non-human nouns.
Oh, cool. And then there's also teen versus tin, which is another difference for with.
Tin, I think, is past tense.
Oh, okay.
Ich tin chwacha.
Okay.
Ich tin awechacha.
Okay. Ich tin kwacha. Does that sound right? I
Yeah.
will. Okay. I will
Yeah.
eat it well.
Ich tin.
Ich tin.
Ich tin chwacha.
Ich tin kwacha. I ate it with oil. Okay. Okay, these are really good questions. Gonna teach you, Han. Okay, Kadekaidoka, I put your pictures on a slideshow. Would you like me to share them right now?
Oh, please, thank you. Yeah, I had some technical difficulties with our computer, and I used to work with just my phone,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit more different to work on the computer. And for some reason, I wasn't getting sound, so I just switched back to my phone after a couple failed attempts.
Oh,
Gonna-
bummer. Yeah, so did I spell your name correctly? Kadekaidoha.
You know, I think that's correct. That I don't really know the correct spelling because it's a kind of a difficult name to spell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
I think
good. So I took your words that you sent in the email, and then I added this delicious looking meal you added, and we're excited to look at it. So do you want to read your first slide?
Oh, sure. Achye Janaye, you yakakuk, aga neshte.
Okay. And
Oh,
then
aye, Janaye away, at hadaka hedi. Eh, you do a sock, sit kaden ye yati aye, jachaneye.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I might have pasted this wrong.
That's okay.
Let me see. Let me put. Okay, I'm just gonna delete these. Okay, you did this one. Okay.
Oh yeah, this is a new one I added. So that phrase I had before is one just saying that I go to and from work every day. I work at a place called Salt. I work at a restaurant, and it's near the Gaston Channel is what I'm saying.
Mm,
And one here is one I got out of the book.
mm.
Chatlak Kwasa Ayach, but I had to get a couple words out of. I'm not sure where I got them from. This
Okay.
one's I'm having a problem pronouncing.
Oh, you sound good so far. These are two words that Shaksani Keek and I added to your phrase, chatlak, for all the time.
Oh
And
yes, thank you.
I'm just gonna quickly spell check. Oh yeah, chatlak. I accidentally wrote the K and W backwards earlier, but I just fixed it. Chatlak.
Yeah. Yeah, every day what I did was I'm doing things that I do every day. I got one for coffee, one for cooking. And so I'm trying to add things to what I've been working on
Yeah.
to try to expand it a little bit.
Chatlak, eh.
Geez.
Chatlak.
This-
How'd you spell that?
Chatlak, CH pinched A space TL high tone A KW.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, this is one of the phrases out of the book. You eat gay yan uaha.
Ritan uaha.
You eat- ah.
I
Yeah,
am hungry.
and that was one plural for the class. So at that point, you're supposed to get hungry when you see the picture.
I am.
Works.
It worked.
And this one, I was really happy to go over in class with the other presentation for learning Ada. So Ada Gishu Tai
Oh.
is what I wanted to try to figure out because that's actually it's a pinwheel salmon wrapped with bacon, and we put like 4 little toothpicks in it.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so what we do is we cut them in like it's a fillet, but we cut them in strips of like 1 inch, and then we push them together and make a circle and put a bacon around there, and we put toothpicks in there while we cook it.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a red wine reduction sauce with butter. It's real fancy. I've been doing this a long time, but I was real excited to do it in Lingit.
Oh. It's
Sitgao san at Khagao aya.
yeah,
Kunst Khadahash
okay.
at Khasai Kunst Khat Asu.
Okay. Oh, and then this one for ka, I'll just edit this. Ka, K high tone A is like on it. And then for the word for and, it's underline KA. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
And that's it.
Uchawa.
Yeah.
Kunachike. I like how you did a high tone O on the English word salmon. I'm reading it as like salmon.
Well, sometimes it does that automatically because I only have the keyboard on my phone, and
Yeah.
I have to spell check all the time. I make mistakes, so thank you for setting me straight.
Yeah, yike, kunachike.
That was great.
Yeah.
If I can add one thing about the book,
Yeah, yike.
this book, Lingit Class, boy, it packs a lot of information in a little book. You know, I was having a real hard time earlier this year trying to move forward, and I looked towards the back of the glossary, and there's a lot of different lessons if you're willing to spend time to go through them, particularly with conjugation and stuff. But it was my big breakthrough trying to put together a sentence was really difficult. It's becoming a little easier, but this book is a really good book. If you read through a lot of the lessons in the back, you get a lot of good things out of it. And thank you.
Oh, goodness, geez. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna teach Thanks for sharing with us. I have not actually looked at the back of this book, and I didn't realize all this information was back here.
Yeah, they got the doodah rule, the 3 strikes rule. They got some about the verbs and some about like some of the suffixes and stuff. It goes over some of the rules that help when you're going from, like, what my big issue is, I can read, but I'm trying to learn how to understand when spoken to, and then listening very carefully. So now I'm going through a lot of my lessons over again to try to pick up some new things that I didn't understand the first time around, because it's just a process I have to go through.
Awesome. Where's the doodah rule? What is that? I never heard of it.
Oh, it's back in the glossary and back of that book.
Okay.
There, I think it's a woo you and a doodah rule back there, I think.
Okay, cool. I'll have to
And
check.
it goes with over different types of, yeah, it's pretty interesting. But
Yeah, there's like over a dozen different rules. The duty rule and the gaga rule.
Oh, here it is. Doodah rule.
yeah,
Okay.
those are the pretty cool. Thank you.
Okay. So in the book, it says the doodah rule, de plus da is greater than de. So in a combination of the fourth person and personal subject pronoun de and the da classifier, the classifier drops out. This could be called the doodah drop rule. So de da na becomes de na for one drinks it, someone is drinking it, it is drunk. Okay, very cool. Gonna teach. Who else had something they wanted to share?
Mm.
Skatiksha.
Sorry, I was late coming to class. Do you mean sharing like our presentations?
If you're comfortable, yeah.
Yeah. I'll share mine.
Okay.
Let's see here. I just was finishing putting the English on some of them. But okay, just screen share.
Let me know if it doesn't let you and I'll change the settings. Oh, there you go. Yeah, we can see it.
Is it showing it?
It's pulling up. It's just taking a little minute, but it
Okay.
says that you're screen sharing. Okay, now we can see it.
Okay. Okay. So Litsa da soe geis sakne hatsu
Hmm.
yan wudit as at gatu aye. This one I didn't put the English on yet. It's up above. Jam teen kunach ach yake
Okay.
uch away ishan.
Okay, kanach okay.
Which is it's all done. So sad.
Man, that she had pictures of bread up making bread dough and eating it. It looks so good. I'm hungry.
Yeah, very hungry now.
King salmon with bread.
Yeah.
And herring eggs on the side. Side
Mm.
dish.
We should base our daily menu off these
Yeah.
show and tell presentations. Everyone's bringing their best to class. I love it. Okay, we still have 8 minutes left. Did anyone else want to share one?
I have one, but I'm not sure it's completely correct.
That's okay.
Actually, I would be very shocked if it was completely correct.
Well, we won't correct you while you're sharing, but afterwards, if you have questions, or however, yeah, we'll wait till the end to offer, but we'll let you give it a go.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you want us to correct you while you're presenting.
How's that? 6 of one, half dozen the other, right?
Yeah, we just do
Yes.
it after you're done.
Okay, let's see if we can share this. And we're going to do that. No, that's not the one we're going to do. Actually, that is the one we're going to do. And
Oh, cool. I love this.
And let me see if I can start the slideshow. Okay. So are you seeing the actual full screen slideshow? There it is. Now I
It's
can see. Oh,
okay.
okay. I'm not sharing the right thing. Sorry.
That's all right. Take your time.
There we go. Okay. So us yat gawu aya. And
Okay.
so I added this ku, but yeah, I don't know. Oh no, actually, that's not that one. Maybe I'll go through it all and then we'll Hande ya natku
Okay.
sor as iki loki at with the king, and that is underlined.
Okay.
Thor kenagut, Thor yenagut, Loki shiyiti,
Okay.
Yake kunaken ye adagan,
Mm.
Zayhan kinda chernate wetin kasi you. Nest kude yan the gut klewasayuti de awe shutuga hastati.
Okay.
And so how close was I?
That's awesome. Ashkulyet gawu. Oh yeah. I've seen that phrase in the phrase book. I think it's time to play.
Yeah, and I wasn't, well, I mean, for them, it's kind of, yeah, I wasn't sure about, I couldn't find like adventure, or I don't know. Yeah, I might, and yeah, I think this one's correct. Although I think I was going to try to add something about like along the path. Now I know there's an along already in the ya.
Oh yeah. Shakhsanikik, how would we say we are walking this way? Would it be Hande yan Tugut?
Hande is coming, not going.
Oh. So we wouldn't say it about ourselves then.
Okay.
Maybe, huh?
Somebody coming towards you, if you're gonna say, I'm gonna go that way, is that what you're trying to say?
I'm actually trying to say we are walking along the path.
Wede yan to at.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness, cheesh. Way de yan to at. I'll type it in the chat.
Guna sheesh.
That's a good reminder. I forgot about it too. So when you have multiple people walking, it changes from gut to at. It's a different verb.
Ah, that is, yeah, important to know. Actually, I might have done that in a later slide.
That's okay. This is awesome.
And so on this one, originally, where here with going up and going down, it just said they are going up and going down, and I added the noun.
Mhm.
So would that be correct in just adding the noun beforehand?
Shakhsani Keek. So one of her cats is named Thor, and Thor is going up. So she wrote Thor K Nagut.
Um,
Or
see,
maybe what
Thor,
Kindeya Nagut.
Hindi.
Okay, so you would put Thor Kindeya Nagut. So you have the right idea with K being an upwards motion, but for this verb use, you would change K to kinde. I'll type it in the chat.
Gotcha.
I'll type the whole thing in the chat. Okay, there. I put it in the chat for you. I love your formatting. Your pictures look so cute.
Oh, and I like the white around it, kind of reminds me a little of Formline.
Yeah, it makes them pop.
Yeah. And then let's see, what else did we do? Okay, I think that one's correct.
Ye kanak ein, ye andagan. The weather is getting better. It's getting sunny. Ye kanak ein. That seems right to me.
And then okay, and now this one, I was still working on like literally right as class started. So
Okay.
and so I have the, so I think so. I think it, if we do the exact translation, would be the deck rail on, or no. So yeah, I think I'm missing on somewhere because I have
Oh
deck
yeah.
rail and stand-in.
Oh yeah. Shakhsani Keek for on the rail. Would you say Zaitka?
Yeah.
Okay, you could put
Oh.
Zaitka. Yeah.
Zika.
Het Karnach.
Oh, Zaitkanach. Zaitkanach. Okay, I'll write it on in the chat too.
Kind of tells you that it's over.
And then yeah, I always get confused still with the order. But so here I have, so the mallard duck they see, and the glacier and or the mallard duck. Yeah, so so where should the verb be in here? Right now I have it between the two things they're seeing.
For the first part, I think you could say, let me find it. Zaitkanach hasnach. So for standing, it's similar to walking, where the verb changes whether it's just one person standing or two.
Ah,
Or multiple. So it would be hasnak. So I would put Zaid Kanach hasnak, and I'll type it in the chat too.
Late is snow.
Or oh, sorry, Zaid. What would you use for rail?
Oh, yeah.
Zaid.
yeah, because so in the book it said that was like ladder or dock or I thought she said we could use, I mean, it's a deck, not a dock, but
Oh, yeah. So we're already at time, but I'm putting this
Oh.
phrase in the chat. Zait kanach hasnak. And we planned for these to take more time than we had today, which is perfect. So we'll continue on with our show and tell. If you want to continue this, we can give you more feedback tomorrow if you're available. And then other people that have show and tell they want to share can also share that tomorrow.
Now, if you
that's not,
want to, it's practice to start over, because that's a very picturesque story.
Yeah.
Kunashish.
Kunachmuk eh. Yik eh away, yay, Janae. Good work. And since we're at time, Shaksani Keek, was there anything else you wanted to add before we close for today?
No, I think everybody did real good. It is a struggle, and just be aware that everybody struggles like that. Yeah.
Katsu, watching your guys's slideshows, it just put me back in when I was beginning to learn, and still today when I'm learning, I'm like, I remember the day that I learned to change it from gut to ot for multiple walking, and it's fun for me to see you all growing in your language learning. And Skinia Talk, can you make it tomorrow? I know you had something you wanted to share.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to share about the Hooligan Inn, and yeah, I'll be joining tomorrow.
Okay, if you have any questions beforehand, you can always email me too, and we can help you out too.
Goodness, geez.
Good job, everybody.
Thank you for your work. We're proud of you. And we'll see you again